The last shall be first. How often have you seen rich people march in the street shouting that they're earning too much? Or stockbrokers complaining about the onus of the bonus? The well-to-do rather follow Bob Dylan's observation that man is opposed to fair play. He wants it all, and he wants it his way. Instead, protesters typically are blue-collar workers yelling that the minimum wage has to go up, or that their jobs shouldn't go overseas. A more exotic example was the 2008 march by hundreds of women through the capital of Swaziland. Given their destitute economy, they felt that the king's wives had overstepped their privileges by chartering an airplane for a shopping spree in Europe. Fairness is viewed differently by the haves and have-nots. The reason for stating the obvious is the common claim that our sense of fairness transcends self-interest, that it's concerned with something larger than ourselves. True, most of us subscribe to this ideal, as do many of our institutions. Yet it's also clear that this is not how fairness started. The underlying emotions and desires aren't half as lofty as the ideal itself. The most recognizable emotion is resentment. Look at how children react to the slightest discrepancy in the size of their pizza slice compared with their siblings. They shout, "That's not fair," but never in a way transcending their own desires. As a matter of fact, in my younger years, I've had fights like this with my wife, until we hit on the brilliant solution that one of us would do the dividing and the other the choosing. It's amazing how quickly one develops perfect cutting skills. We're all for fair play, so long as it helps us. There's even a biblical parable about this, in which the owner of a vineyard rounds up laborers at different times of the day. Early in the morning, he goes out to find men, offering each one a denarius for their labor. He goes again in the middle of the day, offering the same. At the 11th hour, he hires a few more with the same deal. By the end of the day, he pays all of them, starting with the last ones hired. Each one gets a denarius. Watching this, the other workers expect to get more, since they had worked through the heat of the day. Yet they get paid 1 denarius as well. The owner doesn't feel he owes them any more than what he had promised. The passage famously concludes with, "So the last will be first, and the first will be last." Again, the grumbling was one-sided. It came from the early hires. They gave the master the evil eye, whereas those who had worked the least didn't give a peep. The only reason the latter might have been unhappy is that the situation obviously didn't endear them to the others. They'd be wise not to gloat and celebrate.